Lambert. I'm the host today of Village in Motion this Tuesday, April 25th. And this morning we've got the Director of General Services, Lynn Keefe, with us. And Lynn, we are so glad to have you with us this rainy morning.
Thank you. Good to be here. Better to be indoors.
Yeah, it is. I heard a rumor that there was going to be a big tent placed over Green Spring for days like this.
Well, you know, that would make it easier. We've talked about the bubble. It's not in our budget, though, this year.
Well, maybe next year, huh?
Yeah, we'll keep that in mind, though.
But what is in the budget? What's going on?
Well, so we have a few things going on. Windows, although that work was suspended for today because of the weather.
Yes.
But we're finishing over in Neighborhood 1.
Okay.
And new windows have been ordered for Neighborhood 2.
Wonderful.
So we also have the doors. They are installed in 3 apartments in Neighborhood 1,
okay.
and those will be fully installed throughout Neighborhood 1. We're looking at July right now.
Okay.
We'll be able to do all of Neighborhood 1 in 1 month.
Wonderful.
And begin probably mid-June to end of June working in Neighborhood 2. And the goal there is that we go in one time.
Okay, you're right.
There's a great article in the Villager that shares a lot of feedback from residents, and we couldn't be happier.
Yes.
That folks have been pleased, not just with the windows, but with the process.
Right.
We know it's intrusive, but really try to minimize that as best as we can. I would also add that since it is a rainy day, we have had some folks call in to General Services concerned that their new window is leaking.
Oh.
And while water has been present, the window has not been the reason for the leak.
Oh, okay.
Now, as with all leaks, you know, it seeks a point of least resistance and easy exit.
Yes.
And the window in some cases has provided that.
Oh, okay.
But it is not the reason for it. It's just the way that it is getting out. So in some cases we've identified a roof issue. In some cases a building construction where we need to go back. So as with any water intrusion, not welcome, please call us so we can address it quickly. And we'll work through it.
But it's not the windows that are causing it.
It's not the windows causing it.
But the placement of the windows, the replacement of windows has brought it to light that there are some other issues, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So we'll work with each individual in their specific situation, but we just want folks to understand it's not the window causing it.
Okay. And you mentioned doors, and what you're talking about are the sliding glass doors.
The sliding glass door, and in some case it's a swing door onto a balcony.
Okay.
And those are part of the project. We did a separate approval for that. We didn't want to stall the project, and so that's why they're coming a little late to the game. So we did 3 installs to let residents test them, and we've made some adjustments, and they have since been ordered. And as we get timelines from the vendor for delivery expectation, we'll communicate that out.
Well, I've been in one of the apartments that has the windows and the door, and I mean, really superb. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. The windows look excellent. The doors are sliding. You know, the door slides quite well. It's a heavy, sturdy door. I mean, I was really amazed at how sturdy that door is. And
I did have one of the folks report that they said it was their complaint, and the complaint was that they couldn't hear what was going on outside because they were so well insulated. They had to actually open the door to hear, you know, any of the activity, and
they were so used to hearing the activity outside.
They weren't really complaining, but really pointing out the great new insulation of the windows.
And everyone I've talked to, they're so pleased that there's not air flowing through the windows anymore, so which is nice.
Yeah, so we're excited that it's going well and moving along.
Well, you guys have done well.
Great team. So one of the other projects, we have completed the dishwasher replacement in the Jefferson kitchen. And just want to point out, you know, we said maximum 30 days, finished that in 28 days, resumed service. They began Neighborhood 1 in the Fireside on the 17th. Again, 30 days max. We're hoping that as they, you know, move from one to the next, that they, you know, gain some efficiency.
So does the contractor get a bonus for coming in ahead of schedule?
There's not a financial bonus, but certainly, you know, how they work with us.
Oh, yes, yes.
helps predict their future.
Yes.
So, and then last but certainly not least will be Village Square. Looking at mid-May to start. So right now, everything on track, going well.
All right.
As I've said before, it is an extensive process. The dishwashers are manufactured to our specific spec, and it's much more than just pulling out and installing. We have to redo the floor and the wall and ceiling area. So
very good. But people seem to have adapted quite well to the plastic plates and plastic utensils and everything.
They do. We know it's not ideal, but it is short-term and temporary. So.
Yes. Yeah. There is a light at the tunnel. It's not a train.
They're right. That's correct. That's correct. So, and over in Garden Ridge, repositioning is well underway.
Good.
So, Harvey Cleary is the general contractor who is doing that base building. They have completed the construction road. You see the gates for that when you come to campus. And that is really their primary in and out for deliveries, for their employees that come in and out. They're not coming through our security gate, which is great. And things are well underway. In the next 5 to 10 days, they will be doing some underpinning for the new building, and noise will pick up. Anytime we have something of significance, either noise or intrusion, we'll communicate specifically with impacted residents, but certainly activity's picking up.
Great, very good.
Yeah.
And those gates will be closed in the evening, right?
That's correct.
Coming in off the main
So there was a little concern from folks because they see the big gate right at Spring Village Drive.
Right.
And yes, you can make your way around. There is some space, but that's only the exterior gate. That's really just closing off that driveway. There's another gate that is secured that's part of our perimeter fencing. So that's not the only security, and that gate is managed. That interior one is also managed by the general contractor.
Oh, great. Very good.
Then we have Cypress. They're the general contractor for the interior work for the amenity spaces, and their contract has been finalized through legal, and we're doing a walkthrough within the next week to look at the phasing and the timeline, and they will begin their work on RC4, Rose Court 4, very soon.
Well, Cypress does beautiful work.
Yes, yes.
Really
So,
good.
you want to find your space if you want to get over there and see what's going on out back.
Sure.
Lots of good viewing over there. Then we have a few other things around campus too.
Things, right?
The second elevator, we keep saying, it's in process. We're waiting for the timeline. But like so many things, there's a lot of detail that goes on right now with the permitting piece and drawings and detail and things we have to work through before we get the bulk of information. So that's really what we're waiting on, but things are proceeding as we would expect.
Do we have an anticipated start date?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's part of the detail that will be coming. So there's some things that they're working through with the county, and then that will really give us a bulk of information about timeline, and we'll begin to communicate that out as soon as we can.
So we should have it in by the end of the year?
That is, yes, that is absolutely our goal, is to have that completed by year's end.
Okay.
And at this point, no reason to believe that can't happen. We also have the hallway life cycles in Neighborhood 1. We have the cooling tower replacement for Garden Ridge, and we have some mixed air units and heat pumps for the residential buildings, not the ones in your apartment, but in those residential buildings. And those are a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes that you don't necessarily know about unless you get a note that says, something's going to be off or affected by that. And then we also have, well, see, now I make these notes and I say, Town Center, the interior repositioning as it relates to dining. And we're looking at that probably fourth quarter. I know some of the resident design committees have been involved, and certainly more info to come. We'll be having some displays, not just for Garden Ridge repositioning, but you'll see some of those in lobbies in the coming weeks and months. The General Services Transportation Committee has also been working. We will be placing our order for replacement shuttle very soon, with delivery in the late third, beginning of fourth quarter.
And we'll be getting 2 shuttles this year, right?
Beginning 1.
Oh, okay.
And then also looking at how do we replace some of the other vehicles. So lots of coordination with the resident committee, what their preferences are, and also reviewing a lot of the data. They're also also looking at, when the shuttles run and how it's being used by residents. So.
But we will not be getting an additional shuttle due to the wreck of the other one?
That was, no. Not this year,
Okay.
because while we have some funds from that, we're going to look at how we utilize that.
Okay.
And there's potential, but we're moving forward with the one that we had budgeted, and
Okay.
then we'll continue to
Okay.
look at how we do that.
Okay. You mentioned the fact of the hallway refurbishing. What's happening with that?
So it has been out, the proposal has gone out, the RFP, and we have folks bidding, some refinement, a few more bidders coming in, so no final selection yet. And then once that bidder is chosen, then we will have dates.
What will be done?
So we took end of last year, and we've shown some of the color schemes. So it is carpet, paint,
Right.
and lighting. And those, we're looking at between 8 and 12 hallways to be done primarily in neighborhood 1,
Okay.
starting with the oldest area first.
All right, very good.
The color schemes have been shared, and you'll see those continuing, try and push that information out.
Great, that's wonderful. You guys are doing a nice job of getting information out to us. We greatly appreciate that very, very much.
That's our goal.
Anything else happening in the department? I mean, as if you don't have enough already.
Lots of things always going on, and I think, especially when the weather gets warmer, folks are out and about more, just really a safety reminder. And that is whether we're walking, whether we have, whether you're using a mobility device, whether you're in your car, we just ask folks to proceed with caution.
Right.
And move about, because we have lots of things going on, people in and out, and just taking your time and showing that courtesy to others.
I mean, I really hope people quit walking in the streets. I mean, it seems like that as it warms up, more and more people get out and they walk in the street as opposed to using the sidewalk, and it's very unsafe.
Yeah, and if you're out there, we ask you to be safe, watch for vehicles,
Right.
watch for people, be safe, and move with caution.
Yeah, very, very good. With all the things that are going on, what can the residents do to help you guys, help the department, help the employees that are working in general services?
I think communication is always the key, and you spoke about getting you information. That is our goal. We want to make sure that stakeholders have information. You may have noticed as a resident here, you get a lot of information.
Yes.
And we try and do that in a coordinated fashion, but I would just say share with us either a question or a concern. Sometimes I tell folks, don't assume we're ignoring you. We may not know about it.
Right.
Maybe the information didn't get to the right person. So sometimes we get multiple communications about the same thing, which I would rather have 2 or 3 than none.
Yes.
So it's sharing the information, asking questions when need be, and try and make sure that you're communicating to the right person or entity.
Okay. So people should call the call the help desk if they have an issue, right?
Certainly, yes. If you have an IT phone issue, call the help desk. If
Okay.
you have a GS-related, operational call, and if we aren't the right one, they will refer you accordingly.
Okay. And are you still using the comment cards?
Yes, comment cards are available at all front desks, and there are also tools that are there. So if you observe an unsafe situation, something that doesn't require you call security in the moment, you can fill something out and security will follow up.
Okay. Very, very good. And people could call directly, right? I mean, to you or to Scott?
Absolutely, absolutely. You can, if we're not available, we have voicemail, email. You can certainly call our main number and they'll get us a message.
Sounds good. Lynn, thank you so very much for the information and keep on doing great. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Folks, don't go away. We are going to have a video roll in celebrating volunteers.